Well, hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Jackie Alves, and I'm, of course, today at my studio in Arizona called the Beauty Bar, where, I've got so many choices, and I could show you so many different looks, but I've had a lot of requests lately for some pinks, some cool tones, something different than I normally do, which that's hard because I know what looks good on me mostly. I know that I love warm shades. I know that I love bronze and all those things on my face because it makes my blue eyes pop. But, what if somebody's like, great, but what about pink or purple or something that is in the cool tone range? How can I master that? So let me show you how to use something like that and still make it look beautiful on your face if you're like me and you're like, but I love neutrals, I love browns. I want to do a cool tone today, but I'm turning on my fan. You guys, I'm gonna be 50 this year. I say it a lot because I'm actually pretty proud of it. But along with that comes some higher body temps, maybe a hot flash or 74, I don't know. But I need that fan on. So I am gonna go ahead and get started today, and we'll go through colors, we'll talk about alternative shades. I'm gonna use some pinks today and some browns tied into the pink, but you'll love what I'm gonna do. So I hope that you kick back, relax, and thanks for hanging out with me. So I already did all my skincare as usual. I take great care of my skin. And right now I'm going to use this new facial serum by Jafra Cosmetics. It's from their new BioLab collection. It's got all kinds of crazy good stuff in it. I don't even want to get into ingredients, but this is great for dehydrated skin. You may have seen me use this once already, but it's pretty new. It's not for dry skin per se, it's for dehydrated skin. So even if you're oily, sometimes your skin can look a little dehydrated. But one thing I love about this is it's a nice, just thin in consistency serum. And it just makes my skin look, as I would have suggested already, hydrated, but I feel like it plumps it back up. And I'm gonna be using some cream foundation today, you guys, so that's something super new for me. I have protested the cream foundation rage of the world, and just recently found one that I actually really like and that complements my skin and doesn't make me look crusty or creasy. So I'm gonna use that today, but I really love using this hydrating BioLab face serum under my foundation, or sometimes I'll even mix it with my liquid foundation because it just makes my skin look so hydrated and glowy. And I don't mean like shiny and greasy. I just mean like, I feel like my skin has dulled a little bit over the years, and I feel like it has really brought it back to life. So I love using that with or right under my foundation. Now today I'm gonna use my primer. I am gonna, of course, use my water-based primer. This all-in-one primer by Jafra Cosmetics. I use quite a bit of their products. I've been working with them for 8 years this month. Woohoo! 8 years. That's a pretty long relationship. Anyway, I really love them. I love their price point. I love what the company stands for. And I love that they are 68 years old. So I can trust them. I know they've been around for a while. So anyway, this is an all-in-one primer, so you can use it under literally any foundation. You don't have to be concerned about, if it's silicone based, this based, or that based, whatever based, don't matter. Okay, so check this out, cream foundation. Crazy, crazy, crazy that I am actually using, a cream foundation. I said that I wouldn't. But I've said a lot of things in my life, including I'll never use a cream foundation, and here we are. So I'm just gonna use this one called Golden Tan. You guys, stay with me. It's gonna look pretty yellow when I first put it on, but it really blends out beautifully, and the gold in it really corrects all this pink in my face. You see how my face like turns bright red just from putting primer on? It just, I don't know what my deal is, but this stuff really corrects it really well. So I'm just using a foundation brush, a nice short, really dense foundation brush, and just put a couple of little blobs on there. Blobs, why do I say things like this? I don't know. And I'm just gonna go right through the middle. Just dabbing on what I've got. And I didn't put a lot on this brush. It doesn't take a lot. It's super full coverage, but you can shear it out really nice if you don't put on a bunch of layers. So right through my bright red points of my face, and then I'll just begin to blend out. It's so funny, you guys. I was watching one of the videos I did, I think last week, and I'm really bad at putting on my makeup. Like, I left this whole area of my forehead and I hadn't even put any foundation on it. Like, I forgot, like, from here up. And when I was watching it up close, I was like, oh my God, why am I like this? Because I can't see, or, you know, I get going fast or whatever, you know how we are. But by the time I was done with the look, it turned out beautiful because I put my contour and powder up there. So the reason why I share that with you is so that you can be encouraged and not worry so much about the small details. It all comes together in the end. So I'm gonna make sure I get that foundation on my eyelids and blend out under here. I'm not putting a bunch of product directly under my eyes, just a very small amount, just kind of buffing it under there so it blends nice. And don't forget around the cracks of your nose. So see how incredibly beautiful this blended out? And y'all know that it's a little more yellow on camera. We talk about that a lot. Videos are, I don't know why they're weird, but in here in the beauty bar, this matches perfect. I'm gonna bring a little bit down my jawline onto my neck and try to cover this really weird cystic acne planet I have growing here. Why does my body do this to me? I didn't have acne when I was like 17, but 50. Like, hello, 50-year-old acne. All right, so I'm just gonna see if I missed any spots. You guys, I don't have a lot of foundation on. I feel like I barely have any on my forehead, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm okay with this really kind of natural finish. And can you believe that, like, natural finish to a cream foundation? Normally they're thick and so gross, and I feel like my skin is suffocating, especially because it is so hot here in Arizona where I live. I'm really not a fan of that gross feeling. But I'm telling you, this actually looks nice, and it doesn't give me that weird snake skin kind of look. Like, sometimes cream can make dry skin look drier. So I really barely have hardly any on. I have just really blended it to the max. Now I'll go back in with some powder. I'm just gonna use a really lightweight dusting powder. And I don't wanna necessarily, like, you know, set everything in and get all crazy. I'm just gonna get a little bit of powder here. And just kind of use it for buffing. So press it through the middle so I don't fling the powder everywhere. And now I'm just gonna buff because this is really fluffy at the end, so it doesn't pull the product everywhere like a heavier powder brush would. Even on my eyelids, and not really a lot under my eyes, just buffing. Buff it down my neck. Y'all right. Gonna do my usual contour with my famous full face palette. I've been getting so many questions about this dude. I love him. He's fantastic. Couple of contour shades, couple of blushes, couple of highlights there. So really, you can use it as a full face palette because you can even use this contour as an eyeshadow if you want. So amazing. I'm gonna do a quick contour. I don't want to get too far in the weeds and spend a lot of time on things that you probably already know how to do because you see me do them a lot. I'm obsessed with contour. But I am going to do it quick today. Keeping it right under the cheekbone and fading toward the nose. I'm always swapping this mirror around so you guys can get a good view of what I'm doing. I'm so jealous of those younger makeup artists and influencers that can just do their makeup in the camera, and there they are just because they can see themselves. It's not a thing for me. Gotta be this close to my face. All right, I'm gonna do my hairline. And I'm just kind of bronzing up around the perimeter right now. Oh, you guys, this morning I was at my doctor's office and she was sharing the results of my blood work. You know, she ran the gambit on me. She tested me for anything that a test exists for. All the blood, all the things she took from me. Guess what? So I shared last week on my previous video that I was an alcoholic forever. I have been sober for 11 years this year, and I'm so excited to be free from those chains, that bondage, that horrible life I had. And you know, I'm always concerned about my kidney, my liver. You know, what did I do? Did I harm myself? I'm trying so hard to be healthy now, of course, like we do when we grow up. And she said everything's beautiful. Like, woohoo! Like, seriously, you guys, that's amazing. I was like, God is so good. I could not get over it. Like, yes, he healed my liver. It was so bad, you guys. My body was not in good shape. I was really in bad shape. I did not have the best past. And God was so merciful. He healed my liver. But even 11 years later, I'm still trucking along. She said, you are wicked healthy. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what that means, but I bet it's good. So yeah, I'm so excited. I couldn't wait to start calling friends and family and tell them. And now I'm telling you, all of my friends. So just so excited to get that clean bill of health. It felt so good, and it's so encouraging to me. Just praise the Lord. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of blush. I'm gonna stay on the pink side. You guys, I usually will add a little bit of pink and orange to make a peach, but I'm staying cool, regardless of the warm contour. Contour is typically warm, but I'm gonna stay cool. Stay cool. But I'm gonna grab that pink blush. Now this pink blush is like slam packed with pigment, so I have to be careful with it. So I'm just gonna start lightly plopping it on here. Yes, that's the technical term, plopping. And you could use a lighter pink. You don't have to work with something that's so insane. Don't worry, I'm gonna buff that out. But look how strong that pink is, man. I didn't even re-dip this brush. I'm gonna probably ombre it out with a lighter pink on top. But let's see where this goes. See, it's coming together now, so don't panic. I know some of you probably hit the panic button and the alarms were going off. Jackie looks like a clown, but I promise it will come together. Especially with stuff like this, I'll usually take my foundation brush and just rebuff. Just to make sure I didn't go too far down, because I really like to keep my blush and my contour up this way. I don't want to drag my face down. Gravity is working on that all by itself. It doesn't need my help. All right, so just a little buff or 17. Now I'm gonna move into eyeshadow. And like I said, I'm gonna use some cool tones. I'm still gonna use this Desert Romance palette by Jafra Cosmetics. It's super pretty, you guys. There's so many choices here. Yeah, there you go. You can see there's a lot of warm though, but I do have a couple of options for cool. And, oh, there's my brush. I'm just gonna start with this big fat eyeshadow brush. This is by Real Techniques. You can get it anywhere. Great brand for brushes. I'm gonna use the cream color first. It's just a basic cream, no big deal. I've already got a little bit of foundation and powder on my eyelids from before. I'm just putting this cream everywhere. All right, there we go. Now I want to, you know what, I'm gonna stick with the same fat brush. I was gonna switch, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna go into this pink. There's a couple of pinks to choose from. This one is a little more neutral, you can see, and this one is a cooler pink. I'm gonna grab that one with this fat brush. If you have a smaller eyelid area than I do, maybe a smaller brush would be best, but I've got lots of room here, and I just want to sweep some of this right in the crease. So I started at the outer corner. There I go, getting really close to you guys again. You're lucky I eat a lot of breath mints, because this is pretty close. Okay, back to the pink. And really just focusing it on the outer corner. Even though I'm not being really precise, I'm really swirling this giant brush around, but I just know that I want most of the pink on this outer corner. I'm gonna bring it up towards my brow. We talk about that a lot. Don't just leave it in your little crease, open your eyes, and then wonder why it disappeared. Bring it up towards that brow. Okay, and on the outer corner, I don't want to bring it up in this area. It'll really close off my eye. So I want to bring it up over here. And this is really a pretty pink. It's not super bright and crazy, so you can see you can get away with some pinks without going overboard or feeling uncomfortable. This is almost a neutral pink, but I can see it does have a little bit of a blue undertone to it. That's what cool undertones mean, that it has a blue undertone. It doesn't mean it's the color blue. It just, you know, it's got that kind of blue in it. A lot of pinks and reds will have that blue undertone. It'll be cool. Okay, so now you can probably see that I have gotten all wacky out here, gotten a little out of control. So I'm just gonna buff it right out. Just clean it up a little bit. And I have this real sensitive pink spot right here. It usually gets itchy when my eyes tear up. It really bothers me. So I'll wait and go back and put a little foundation or concealer on that later. I don't wanna worry about it right now and then get a bunch of product under there. Okay, so now I wanna go back with a dark brown. And this is a dark cocoa brown that you see me use a lot. But it's weird. It's a really weird brown, you guys, because it is, like I said, like a cocoa brown. It's got almost like a fuchsia undertone to it. It's very weird. But what's great about it is you can use it with cool, neutral, warm. It doesn't really matter as long as you don't start swiping too much, because then that fuchsia really comes out. So I'm just gonna use it really concentrated. So I'm gonna take that dark brown that I showed you and a smaller eyeshadow brush. I just got a couple little taps on there. I'm gonna go right here at my lash line. And just building it into my crease, little bit by little bit. I think it's time for the magnifying mirror. I'm like, oh my God, I can't see anything. All right, let me swap those mirrors out. So I got like my medium magnifier here. You could see all the fingerprints on it when I held it up. It is what it is. All right, so a little bit more on that lash line, right along the bottom. And then I just blend it into the crease gently. Ooh, it looks like I need my brows plucked again already. Good Lord. And gently, gently, gently blending up and in, keeping it focused on the outer area. I have a little fallout here, but I don't even care. It's okay because I'm gonna go back and clean that up later. That looks pretty good. It's pretty simple. This is meant to be fairly simple, easy for you to duplicate if you want, which I hope you do. Oh wow, in this magnifying mirror I can see where I've got a little bit of lash glue I couldn't get off from yesterday. I should have used a makeup remover instead of just my regular face wash. Yeah, if you guys struggle with that, like if you can't get your lash glue completely off, just a good makeup remover will help that. The kind that looks like Italian salad dressing that you have to shake up. Those are really good to get that stuff off. You're probably thinking, yeah, well, why don't you use one? Lady with the lash glue stuck on your lash line. Give me some grace. Ain't nobody perfect around here. You know, that's another reason why I love you guys so much. You're like the best audience. You always give me grace. You haven't nitpicked me about having lipstick on my teeth. That's always my worst. All right, so I'm just deepening my corners. I'm gonna go back to that pink just a little bit, if I can find it. And I'm gonna pop a little bit more of that in there. So just picking it up with that same little brush. I am going from dark back to light on this brush, but it's okay because I'm really using it to just transition and blend. I'll go back with the bigger brush again too, but I just wanted to concentrate some of this in here. All right, let's go back to that fat brush. Just pick up some more of that pink because I just want to blend this out. And really, I know you guys have probably all heard like the key is blending, just blend, blend, blend. It really is the truth. Like if you can get your look to blend and smoke really nice, it just looks so much better. It makes a big difference. So that right there's only 3 shades, the cream, the pink, and then that kind of weird cocoa brown I told you about. That's all I've used so far. I'm gonna go back to the pink with the small brush that I was using. It still has a little bit of brown in it though, so if you didn't have any brown left in this brush, you may want to pop into that brown just a little bit more because you want this a little bit deeper on the bottom than just the pink. So just using eyeshadow on the bottom is kind of one of my signature tricks that I do all the time, rather than eyeliner. It just stays put longer, it doesn't smear on me, and it doesn't look so harsh on the bottom. I like to save those harsh lines for the top. Now, what I want to do for this one is take a small slant brush, like this teeny tiny little guy. Look how small he is, just a little slanted brush. Now, I want to go into that brown again. So I'm not going to do a black wing like I normally do with pencil or with liquid. I'm going to take some of that dark brown eyeshadow and just do a smoky little wing. Just right along the lash line. Now, if your hand isn't steady or your eyesight isn't great, you can absolutely omit this step. I'm just going right along my lash line and treating this almost like powder eyeliner. It's just going to be a softer look, that's all. Now I stopped about 3/4 of the way over. And that's what I recommend for you too. Just stop halfway to 3/4 of the way over. Don't go all the way into the corner. I'm just really creating some definition on the brown eyeshadow I already put there. I felt like I was really fighting with that glue I had stuck in there. The fight is on. Crazy. Okay, so now back to the Desert Romance palette. There is this really super pretty shimmer pink shade right here that I want to use my ring finger and go right on the inner corner. Now, if you love this Desert Romance palette and want to know how to get it, it's not always available on my Jafra website because it's typically seasonal. It'll just pop out and surprise us occasionally. So it's not regular line. Look at that great pop right there. So bright. So if it's not available during a time when you're wanting it, a really great comparable palette would be Urban Decay Nudes. That's a really great option for you. There we go. Oh, I can hear the beauty bar phone ringing in the background. I'm sorry, whoever's calling, we're closed today. It's video day with my friends. But leave a message. All right. Just popping a little bit more of that pink there. I like to get a lot of this. You don't have to put as much as I am. I'm excessive with it just because I like it so much. It's so pretty. It's like, pew, just bam. You can just give it one bam like that. Brightens up the eyes a lot. But you can see, I just did it with my ring finger. I had a friend recently ask me, like, how do you get that bright on the inner corner? You can do that on the lid, and then you can also do it on the inner corner too, if you like that little pop of brightness right there. But I'm gonna show you a trick with that. You can do it with the same shade, that eyeshadow that I just showed you, or you can go back to the full face palette or whatever highlighter you love, and I'm gonna use the white diamond shade to just put it right here. And just make sure it blends. And just using a really small eyeshadow brush, you can see how that pops. All right, that looks so pretty. I like it a lot. Okay, I'm gonna hop in here and just darken up my brows with a little bit of brow powder. I like to use like a cool brunette or like kind of a hazelnut, I guess, if you will, hazelnut type of powder on my brows just to darken them up, since I've got that permanent makeup and I sometimes will get foundation on them. I just need to go back over to add back that definition. So let me do that real quick. So I've got a little bit of powder on the brows now. I wanted to take a minute to do that. And I'm gonna go back with my mascara. Oh, I almost dropped it. I'm so clumsy sometimes. All right, as usual, the Royal Luxe Mascara by Jafra Cosmetics. Can't get away from it, but whatever favorite you have, this is the time you wanna put on your mascara. I'm gonna just start at the root, take it to the tip, and you'll see that I can get some great full lashes out of this mascara. If you guys are interested in giving this mascara a try, you can grab it on my website. I think it's on sale this month. If you just go to JackieAlves.com, and in the menu, it says My Shop in the little drop-down menu on the right-hand side. Go to My Shop. That will zip you over to the Jafra website where you can grab any Jafra products from me. But if you check under special offers, I believe you'll see this mascara is on sale. Also, while we're this close to my eye, you'll notice I got a bunch of eyeshadow under here and it's not looking so great. Don't sweat it, because we're gonna go back with concealer and really clean that up nice. All right, let me get this perfected up a little bit and I'll be right back. All right, I've got both eyes done with my fabulous mascara that I obsess over. And you can see I got some pretty good volume out of it, some pretty good lift. Yeah, nice. Okay, remember, I promised we were gonna go back with some concealer to clean this up, but I wanna start with a little bit of eye cream. This is one of the very best things I could possibly do before concealer. Now, of course, I already put on eye cream. I told you I did all my skincare, but I just wanna freshen up with a tiny bit more. It's really a small amount. And I'm just gonna sweep it here because I wanna keep that moisture as best I can, especially if I'm gonna be adding more products. But this, it's like the eye cream is nice and cold, so I feel like it's refreshing me, kind of waking me up a little bit, but also helping me sweep out any product that may have gotten out of control and, you know, sprinkled around under there. You can use a regular concealer brush if you like. This is just called, I think this is like a kitten paw brush. It looks like a little kitty's paw. And this one's also by Real Techniques. All right. Now I wanna try a different concealer than I normally use. Sometimes I'll use the liquid concealer, the Beauty Bar brand that I love. Sometimes I don't use any concealer and I'll use foundation instead if I want it really lightweight. But today I'm going to use the Jafra Royal Radiance concealer. This is in the shade Light. You can see it's kind of pink. I'm just going to use a little bit of it under my eye. I'm going to go back with my foundation brush. Actually, you can use a concealer brush if you want, whatever you're comfortable with. I just wanted to get a fatter brush to cover a larger area. And just tapping a little bit here and here. It really brightens underneath. You can see it brightened up because of that pink kind of radiance. I need a little bit more though. And I don't want to dig my finger in there and get my fingernail with a bunch of concealer under it. So I'm just gonna grab some with this little spatula. Pop it onto the back of my hand so that I can pick it up with this, there it is, this smaller brush. I'm gonna switch over to the smaller one so I can get in the corner of my eye a little bit better. So this is still a fluffy brush, concealer, but smaller than that foundation brush. So I'll bring it in a little further. And use it to clean up my eyeshadow. Remember I said don't worry about that till the end either. All right, just doing a lot of patting. I want to make sure it's nice and even. And a little bit on my lip line. Now you don't have to do this part if you've got a little extra peach fuzz right there, or maybe a few more lines than you'd like. You don't have to put extra product on there. You know, just it's totally personal preference there, but I find that it helps my lip liner stay on a little bit longer if I add a little foundation or concealer right there. All right, that's looking really pretty. I love this pink eyeshadow. So a nice, cool pink. You could have added like a plum in there if you wanted, so do a pink and then a plum transition would be beautiful. All right, so we had to cut there because I had to sneeze and nobody needs to see that. I did not need to share that with you. So after I sneezed, I went ahead and prepped my lips with a little bit of foundation. I typically do like to use a little bit of foundation right through here. Like I told you with my concealer, I like to put a little bit of that on my lips, but I wanted to mute it down a little bit more with foundation. It'll help the lip liner pop and actually will help it last a little bit longer too. So I want to go in with a super neutral shade. I'm going to probably only use this like nude pink color because I want to use some, I want to have like a pink lip, but I want it to be like a nude pink. I'll start on the bottom. You can start top or bottom, doesn't matter. And fill in just a little. I'll usually make several lines. I like to build up the product because that way it lasts longer. So, you know how I was telling you guys earlier about my health and how excited I was about the results of my blood work and all the testing and everything. It wasn't just exciting, it was also really inspiring. Like, it made me want to take better care of myself. Isn't that weird? Like, I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate with some cheesecake because I deserve it. I actually was like, oh, I wanna stay on track with this. So that was pretty cool. I felt really motivated by that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of pink. Really super light. This is called Pink Satin. It's a very cool pink though. Just want a really lightweight layer of that. And now I want to go in with a little bit of concealer. Now check this out. This is just a stick concealer in the shade Light. I wanted to keep the pink on the cool side, but still keep it fairly nude. I didn't want to do a really bright lip right now because I feel like I've got, yes, cool pink on my eyes, but still a little bit on the neutral side. So didn't want to overdo it with the lip. I will go back in with the Sugar and Spice Lip Plumping Jelly. Say that 5 times fast. And just put it in the middle to bring it all together and gloss it back up. Now you can see that's a pretty subdued lip for me. Normally I've got some really dark lip liner on, but just toned down today to really showcase the eyes. You can absolutely use a false lash with this look if you like, which would be a beautiful way to kind of put the cherry on top with this to add that extra definition on the outer corners. But I'm real happy with the way that my mascara turned out, so I'm gonna leave that for today and just let it be a little bit more on the subdued side. Even though this is kind of, you know, it's got some pizzazz in this eyeshadow look. I do want to go back through real quick with my blush brush and just buff and make sure my contour, everything is pretty even. Blend out those lips a little bit better too. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That pink lip liner is a little on the warm side, I feel like, but since we went with kind of a subdued pink lip, I think, like, you know, we could probably get away with that. All right, I'm gonna use a setting spray, but I actually want to use a dewy finish setting spray today. I usually will opt for natural finish or matte finish, but today, dewy finish, which means I'm going to look like I am glistening, like my skin is very moist. That feels amazing. My client's favorite part. All right, now I think taking that nonsense out would be helpful. That was the craziest bun ever today. All right. Ooh, I wonder if I have any hairspray left. Wow, so the big sexy hair nozzle must be clogged. I think I need to wash it because it was squirting up to the sky. I'll just put that back. Let's leave that over there. I'll just use what little bit I have left of my Shaper Plus. This is also a great hairspray by Sebastian. It's been around forever. Guys, I used this hairspray when I worked at Glamour Shots when I was 17 years old. Ah, there it goes. That's all she wrote. Well, good thing I was going crazy here today, because I am officially out of hairspray. I'm not touching that big sexy hair can again. That thing's out to blind me. All right, I think that I look pretty good. I just need some earrings. I'm gonna do silver today. I usually do, but I think, you know, keeping with the cool makeup theme, I'm gonna wear these wacky stars. Oh, I should take off the other ones first. What a nut. All right. All right, you guys, I hope that you give some of these tips and tricks a try. I know that you'll love them. I know that sometimes they may seem a little bit daunting, like, you know, my eye's not shaped like that, or I have super hooded lids, or whatever our issue is. But really, if you just remember to do the blending, bring it up towards the brow like I showed you, it's really gonna look good. Especially if you just remember it's just makeup. If you get it wrong, it's okay to take it off and do it again. And also sometimes that's a good idea because it takes practice. You caught what I just said, that I've been doing makeup since I was 17, right? Well, I've had a lot of practice, and a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I can't do it like you do it. Well, just practice. Yes, you can. I couldn't do it like I do it even a couple of years ago. I've recognized the massive improvement in my makeup game over the years, and it just comes from doing makeup after makeup and trying new things all the time. So don't be afraid to try something new. Let me do the teeth check. I always got to do it. All right, it looks okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here on my YouTube channel. My name is Jackie Alves, and again, I'm coming to you from my beauty bar here in Arizona. I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day.